It's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. All right, so this is the latest and greatest when it comes to Deontay Wilder because, and listen, I'm not as much of a hater as people think. This is the home of boxing, so I have no reason to hate on nobody. I'm in my own lane. Shout out to 78 Sports. 78 Sports does really interesting and good interviews with Deontay Wilder. And the quotes I'm about to read from this article and dissect are from his recent interview with Deontay Wilder. So shout out to 78 Sports. No hate here. But 78 in the interview with 78 Sports, Deontay Wilder stated the following, and I quote, "I've got to find my killer instinct back. I'm too at peace. I'm too happy. When I had that dog in me, nobody had a chance." End quote. So let's pick that apart piece by piece. Now, look, man, I'm not surprised Deontay Wilder lost to Joseph Parker. I actually picked Joseph Parker to win the fight. But one thing I will say, because this has been a thing in the past with other fighters, like, for example, like many people may remember when Manny Pacquiao stopped being, quote-unquote, center Pacquiao, when he stopped, as he says, when he stopped gambling, when he stopped womanizing, when he stopped gambling, womanizing, and he became a Christian, right? A lot of times he stopped getting knockouts, right? So people were saying, oh, well, he found God now. He lost his killer instinct. He lost his edge. He's not the Pacquiao of old, right? So it became a thing in this fight where people would analyze, does Manny Pacquiao have his killer instinct? And sometimes he did, sometimes he didn't. But a lot of times he would be successful despite that fact, right? So now Wilder, I think it's a bit of a different situation and scenario than Manny Pacquiao, because Manny Pacquiao was a welterweight. Deontay Wilder is a heavyweight. This is the grown man division where everyone can punch, everyone's a gargoyle, everyone's big, everyone's throwing those grown man punches. So, in the heavyweight division, there's always that one punch factor, and that one punch could put your lights out and rearrange your chromosomes and your brain cells and put you in the emergency room for a long time, right? So I think it's a bigger deal when a fighter loses their killer instinct and they're a heavyweight, because there's no division, I feel, in boxing where you need your killer instinct more than the heavyweight division. And when you're a fighter like Wilder, let's be real, Deontay Wilder he's not Larry Holmes or anything like that. Like, he's not a guy that relies on his boxing skills. This is a guy that's a gunslinging, power-punching menace. At his best, that's what he is, a gunslinging, power-punching, knockout artist menace. And I do think, with him being 38 now, like, he's kind of gotten everything he wanted out of boxing. Like, he got into the sport to take care of his daughter. He can definitely do that. God bless him for that. He's got a big family. He can take care of all of them. He's made great money. I'm sure that, because I met Deontay in August 2022, and he's actually a real smart guy. People listen to the Southern accent and the Southern drawl that he has and the way he says certain words, and they may say, you know what, Deontay Wilder ain't that smart, but he's not the brightest crayon in the box. But there couldn't be anything further from the truth. He's a very smart man, and I'm sure in talking to him, he's done right by his money and been tactful and diligent with his money. And he doesn't need boxing anymore, right? So he doesn't need boxing anymore. He got out of the sport, what he came into it to get. He's been champion. He's given people a lot of great moments to remember him by. I don't think he has anything left to prove. And truth be told, I thought Joseph Parker would beat him for years, because I just thought Joseph Parker, style-wise, matched up very well with Deontay Wilder if he let his hands go. And he did, because, sometimes Joseph Parker catches Adrian Broner syndrome. But all credit to brother Malik Scott. Like, Malik Scott's trying to bring new ideas and get a new tune out of Wilder and blend some things together. And look, the story's not over yet. Deontay hasn't retired yet, so maybe he will before it's all said and done. But just judging off that fight against Parker, I think he's fighting a bit of a losing battle. I think he is fighting a losing battle because, look, as the old True School Sports adage goes, once you bake a cake, it's a damn cake. Meaning that, look, you could put icing on that cake. You could change how the outside of that cake looks, but the core of that cake, the inside of it, remains the same. And it's the same thing with most fighters. You can tweak things, you could adjust things, you could clean up some habits, but ultimately the fighters are gonna go back to what they know. And if you try to teach them too much, if you try to reinvent the wheel too much, it normally doesn't work, right? So I'm watching Wilder in that fight against Parker. I'm watching him circle the ring. I'm watching him try to use this jab. I'm watching his balance not be quite all the way there. And to be fair, he's never had the greatest balance in the world. He's always been a bit awkward. But Wilder is not a fighter I feel could have success in the sport at a high level, on a high level, being a fighter that, you know, concedes ground to the opponent, boxes tall off that jab and off his back foot. That's just not who he is, man. You gotta let the gunslinger be the gunslinger. And I think Wilder has to be a guy that keeps a nice active jab in your face, a steady diet of right hands, but they have to be coming in a forward motion. Or while he's holding his ground, not going backwards. That's never worked for him. It didn't work for him in the Fury fights, and it didn't work for him in the Joseph Parker fight. You see what I'm saying? So I don't think they need to reinvent too much. If he's gonna keep boxing, he just needs to be him, and you know, it is what it is. But like, look, the landscape of the division is getting pretty hot right now. You know, you got guys like Filip Hrgović, Jared Anderson, Jalolov's in the mix. Got all these Eastern Europeans. You got Usyk. You got Frank Sanchez. You got AJ still there. You got Otto Wallin. You got Aji Caballero. I mean, look, the division is has a lot of depth. It has some good depth in the division. And Wilder is not a champion, and I don't think Wilder is a top 3 contender in my opinion either. I think he's fallen quite low in the division for his standard, right? So I just think, you know, it's going to be an uphill battle for him, and the fights that he's probably going to have to take, unless like Joshua, unless the Saudis come with the Joshua fight, they're not going to be worth the money. So I just feel like, you know what, Wilder, like, why lose anymore? Why lose? Why continue to have blemishes on your resume? Why take more punishment when you have everything you wanted? You got your health, you got your family, you got everything. You got everything you want in boxing. Money, you got your family, you got wealth beyond your wildest dreams. You've given a lot of highlight reel knockouts that you can look back and be proud of. It's just like, man, it's like the old saying goes, it's hard to train when you're sleeping in silk sheets and silk pajamas. And it's like Wilder, I'm sure Wilder got some nice. I'm sure he's got silk sheets and silk pajamas. He could afford them. He could afford Louis Vuitton silk sheets and silk pajamas, right? He's good. So it's like, you're 38. Why not just hang it up, man? I mean, I'm not gonna tell him what to do, but I'm just saying, for me, if I was like his advisor and whatnot, you know, I would advise him to hang it up, because the only fight that I think he should take before he leaves, if it's offered and presented to him, is Joshua. But he might not even get that fight, because Joshua might be fighting Filip Hrgović, which is looked at to be a tougher fight because Hrgović has never lost. Hrgović is one of the most ducked and avoided fighters in boxing. And Wilder knows how tough Hrgović is himself, because he sparred Hrgović and he knows how good he is from being in camp with him for Klitschko. So I think that could be a good fight for the title. And, you know, unless a Joshua fight presented, to me, there's really no sense in Wilder staying around in boxing. He did everything he wanted to do in the sport. But that's the news. Deontay Wilder has stated that he has lost his killer instinct, and he's got to find it, because he's at peace, and he's too happy, and life is too good, and he's too rich, you know. So make of that what you will. What do you guys think? Should Wilder continue his heavyweight journey, or is this the end of the road, like Boyz II Men said? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe, and like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dang It. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. We're here at the Hatanaka Boxing Gym in Nagoya, Japan. And for more great videos just like this one, make sure you guys click right here.